You can see I'm a little bit, I have my stress rash going on. I was feeling really overwhelmed at my work today at Whole Life Learning Center. Last night, I lost my car for several hours and then started feeling really headachy and migrainey, and I don't know exactly what's going on. You know, I had a panic attack last night. Something's kind of going on with my nerves. But I really felt like I should cancel today, but they really needed a substitute, so I came in, locked my keys out of my car. Everything's kind of going wrong. My nerves are shot. My head is really pounding. I had to cancel the volunteer opportunity I had later today. And I have a river floating tomorrow, and I'm really feeling overheated and stressed by the kids. But I bought some food out at this quick stop and taken a moment. And even though I'm not doing the best, my neck is really hurting. I'm just noticing how important it is to take a moment to pause and breathe. Whatever's going on in your system, even if you don't know what it is, this resembles something that used to happen to me a lot when I was really going through adrenal fatigue. But yeah, I'm eating, I'm breathing. That's good enough for now. Going home to get my box of journals that I left by mistake. I never thought I would say this, but I miss the street so fucking much. I miss this street so much. I can't! What's wrong? Hey, what's wrong? Maybe you're just tired. Note to self, there's a difference between being mad at someone and being under-resourced. When you're under-resourced, you may stop making happy sounds and may feel fear in your body and lose connection to your connection. And when you go your separate ways, find your own ways to regulate. Mine is dancing. Hers is listening to podcasts. Or it's taking a walk, a jump in the water. When you're feeling grounded and good and resourced. When she comes back over and lays on your mat and touches your arm, you're happy, so happy, glad to see her. When you're mad, when you adjust, when you're mad, when she comes over to your mat, you don't want to talk to her. There was something there. But when you were just under-resourced, then you feel good again, and grounded and calm. Then when she comes to see you on your mat, You're glad. And she lays beside you. You're glad. So I asked my cards today, what do I need? How do I stay in a state of peace? I'm realizing more and more lately that I may be autistic, and part of that is that it's really difficult for me to be around people a lot because I start short-circuiting when I have to say and do things in order to communicate ideas, and that it's not what's coming naturally for me. Like, just find it really challenging or really, really draining. So today I was drained, and I found myself feeling resourced from jumping in the water, from doing yoga, and being in nature. And I'm asking my cards about how to stay in a state of peace. This seems to be the story of where I've been at recently, where I've been at. And we're moving on to the I think next step in that journey, and maybe my justification for that was like a misguided sense of justice. Like, I would start in a really dysregulated state, and then it would come with a misguided sense of justice, self-justifying what it is that I'm experiencing, why I'm experiencing it, self-justifying to the world. Coming in with the Page of Swords. I think this is about trying to communicate with people from a head space instead of a heart space. And this is that I am in fact lost with my love center. So I am actually perceiving a lack of love while a cup is being handed to me. And oftentimes, so it's like he's definitely got love. Someone's handing him love, but he's unable to receive it, and he's perceiving it as rejection. And what I'm seeing here is that maybe the resource that I need to turn to, that's what this feels like, is this overflowing Ace of Cups. It is love, and it's from God. I think it's like I need to be tapping into God's love. And I like the golden cup here because I think it is the sword, and this is the water, which I just jumped into and was very nourishing for me. I think it's going and meeting your needs. I think it is really, really focusing for me on meeting my needs. Just meeting my needs, and not so much on justification and on communication and on where's the love and connection, but on meeting my needs. This is the I, and this is the love. And I think what is also, I'm assuming that this is the future, and this is why this is what I need to be focusing on, and this is the outcome. Then it seems to be that I will see many, many glittering cups, but they are not going to be my path. And this has been true. Perhaps this will continue to be true, that I will continue to see many, many options, become a dancer, become, an owner of a nonprofit, see and join these, this community, all of these different cups, have this farm, this commune, I'll have this start this, like, you're seeing many, many cups, many, many families, many, many ideas. And maybe I had a snake in my dream recently, so this could be this too. Become a great academic, all of these things that are happening. And those are beautiful. And it's okay to look at them, but they're dreams. They're in the headspace. And what I should be focusing on instead, I should be less. This is interesting because it's showing me not to be focusing so much on my craft. That I think is like this seems to be the headspace where, let me see what the third one is. This seems to be a headspace where my head's gonna be at. Or this feels like where my head is at. Like, don't be focusing so much on your craft. I think the betrayal is gonna feel really like, actually what I think this is telling me is to be selfish, because this is often seen as a card of betrayal, or no, a card of like you're taking everything for yourself, and kind of like gets a bad rap, like you're just grabbing all these swords. But I actually think the cards are telling me do that, and they might feel sharp and giving. Like, you are not trying to be focusing so much on your craft. You are trying to be collecting the resources, and this gives me the energy that I'm feeling this energy that it's saying, interesting. Once again, and this is a question of how do I stay in peace. So, maybe this was the meditation in a certain sense. This side of the brain is, you are not supposed to be focusing on these knives. Instead, definitely be focusing on family. That feels really good. And don't be focusing on giving your money away. I think that's something you're saying. Don't be focusing on all the thoughts that are driving you to the ground. Don't be focusing on the money. Be focusing on your family and love.
And a temporary competency would be somebody who pushes themselves back into stressful situations too quickly before they're really strong enough, and they can just find them come clattering back down. Or say somebody recovering from fatigue after suffering from a chest infection or suffering from COVID, feeling really exhausted, low energy, having to sleep 12-14 hours a night. And then again, if they push themselves too hard, they push themselves back into a normal routine too early, then it's very easy to relapse back into that kind of exhaustion.
Good morning. I woke up really refreshed, and I guess really kind of zombie-ish. Nice and empty. My brain is nice and empty. And I really want to make art. That's what I would do on a day like this, like having a Sunday morning off, having a couple of work things to do on my computer. I really want to work on my comic book. That's just really what I want to do right now. And I seem to have misplaced my notebook where I work on my comic book. I shuffled all around in my closet this morning. I looked all around my car. I really hope I didn't lose it in the move. Day, beautiful day. Just went to jazz class, and I have been having a little bit of anxiety for the last few days. Maybe attachment anxiety, different things. and coming off of caffeine to help with that. So Jazz assessment was last week, and I did not do excellent. However, she was very encouraging. But yeah, today I worked. I had a little bit of a tough time yesterday, and I was really wanting to see my partner, and I thought that they had planned to see me that day. There was a misunderstanding. So I got to work at the preschool this morning, which was beautiful, and my partner called me in the middle of the day, and I was able to share with them what I was feeling. I definitely had the instinct to kind of not answer until I was grounded more, or to like pretend that I was fine, but I wasn't able to do that very well just because of where my body was at. And so I did end up being honest with them, which can be rough when you feel that you being honest can feel like an attack on the other person or cause conflict. So I did do that. I just shared what I was experiencing with that fear of it feeling like an attack on them, but I just tried to be honest, and they really were able to receive me, and I think after that conversation we were able to connect, and they were able to share that they had, since we hadn't set it down or put it on their calendar, they had just completely forgotten that we had plans that day, and they hadn't realized that I was waiting for them. And so, reassured me and things. And when I got off the phone, I definitely felt a lot better that they had said that. And I was still kind of messaging them a bunch and kind of saying things like, I miss you so much, and just maybe oversharing my experience of anxiety, I think, in a way. And I think that's been my journey for the last while. I don't know how specifically I've shared about on here. I've shared that I have a problem with either oversharing or undersharing my feelings with a partner, or with anyone really, trying to make the other person responsible for them. Or I can lean towards completely pretending I don't have any feelings, not talking to anyone until they're gone, doing any kind of self-medicating thing to make them go away so that the other person won't have to feel them. And so that middle ground of like sharing what I'm going through while I'm going through it, and still not making another person responsible for my emotions, and parsing out who's really responsible for what's going on, or what's okay and fair to ask of them has been a journey for me. So I think that the fact that I got to ask them about that was really special. And then I still felt a lot of anxiety, and did end up kind of oversharing some of my anxiety energy on text. And just when I came to jazz class today, we were just doing a meditation session. So we all laid down on the ground, and she began guiding us through like a body scan, essentially, like really breathing into your pelvis and feeling it, and breathing into your heart space and feeling it, and breathing into these parts of you, and imagining you're on a canoe, and that it's supporting you, and that the oceans are supporting that canoe, and only be there. And I noticed how my mind kept This happened in meditation yesterday too, but it wasn't as nice. My mind kept trying to return to my partner, and what if I had overwhelmed them, and how do I know if what I said was too much, and would I lose them, and all this stuff. Like, I kept returning to that in my mind and wanting to suppress it, and wanting to, like, either trying to suppress what my thoughts, or their thoughts were spiraling, or and I did remember that song from Steven Universe, if any of you guys know about it, because this is what I've been dealing with the past couple days, is that kind of trigger. But if you haven't seen Steven Universe, there's a beautiful song in it that I'll link below that helps with meditation, especially with RSD or abandonment feelings. And it is, you don't always know that you're having an abandonment trigger unless you don't always know you're having it. Like, you can think this other person did something to hurt me, and oh no, I'm being an asshole, and like not really being able to pinpoint that all of this heightened anxiety is coming from a fear of being abandoned, you know? So anyway, the Steven Universe song goes, here comes a thought that might alarm you, something you did, they did, and how it harmed you, something you said that failed to be charming. Thoughts in your head are suddenly swarming, and oh, you're losing sight, you're losing touch. Every little thing seems to matter so much that they confuse you, that I might lose you. Take a moment to think of just flexibility, love, and trust. Take a moment to remind yourself to take a moment and find yourself. Take a moment and ask yourself if this is how we fall apart. But it's not, but it's not, but it's not, but it's not, but it's not. You're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. Have no fear, have no fear, have no fear, have no fear, have no fear. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And it was just a thought, just a thought, just a thought, just a thought, just a thought. You're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. Have no fear, have no fear, have no fear, have no fear, have no fear. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And that song came to me while I was meditating, and she had us visualize ourselves laying on a canoe, and the water underneath the canoe supporting us. And I reminded myself, just be supported, just be in this experience. Remember how to meditate. Be here, let the other thoughts go like clouds. And I started crying and definitely welling up with emotion, and just that experience of being in my body and holding myself and being held. And when I came out of that, I have so much space for my partner now, and the trigger and the stress is gone. It's miraculous how stretching and movement and meditation can really reset your system.